4 Goodyear Infinitread. But hurry, this Goodyear offer ends soon.
When cars raced at an awesome 5 miles per hour, Mobil Oil was there. When a race car broke 100, Mobil was in it. Mobil was in the winner of the first race across America. And since then, Mobil has been in more Indy 500 winners than any other oil in the history of Indy. So if you think that all oils are alike, think about something. At Mobil, we've been changing oil for over 125 years.
It's a night of music and laughs for CTV's funniest families and the most hilarious hour of comedy ever.
If you're going to have a change you like, you got to do it right now.
It's classic moments from The Honeymooners, Family Ties, All in the Family, and Frasier. Join Brett Butler when TV laughs at life. Then, the world's biggest music stars, one spectacular television event. From Monte Carlo, Michael Jackson, Celine Dion, Hootie and the Blowfish, Seal, plus Diana Ross performs her greatest hits. The 1996 World Music Awards, ABC Monday.
Never again. I'll never go back to hydrocortisone for my itching. I switched to Lanacaine.
New medical testing on itch nerve shows the direct action of Lanacaine relieves itching faster and keeps working better than maximum strength hydrocortisone. Look, in the first crucial minute, Lanacaine gave faster itch relief.
And the relief really lasts.
Over time, Lanacaine kept working better.
Fast relief that lasts. I like that.
Lanacaine not only relieves itching faster, it keeps working better than maximum strength hydrocortisone.
On July 1st, Cathay Pacific takes you closer to the pulse of Asia with a same-plane direct service from New York to Hong Kong. Welcome aboard Cathay Pacific, the heart of Asia.
Why This Vet has your pet on pins and needles, Monday at 5.
Back in the Miller 200, here is the move for third place. Emerson Fittipaldi's been working on Paul Tracy for some time now, and now he's got him. Emerson Fittipaldi coming back up, moves into third place. Oh, what a nice bit of moving for Emerson Fittipaldi, who has been in a great mood, even despite the heavy rain yesterday. Every time I saw him, a great smile. Hey, I'm doing good. I feel very good about this racetrack. Obviously, he's telling the truth.
Well, he likes Milwaukee and he likes the miles. He does very well there, and he was happy with his car.
Nothing else has changed in the order for you. It's Unser Jr., Michael Andretti, then Emerson making that pass, then Paul Tracy, and then Greg Moore.
But Unser Jr.'s lead has gone from 7.7 down to 2.3 seconds. So something has happened. He's lost 5 seconds on the track.
You're right on board with 9th place Jimmy Vasser. Don't forget that all of these drivers head off in 1 week to Detroit, Michigan for the ITT Automotive Detroit Grand Prix. That's next Sunday with coverage right here on ABC Sports. And then at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central and Pacific, the U.S. national soccer team tries to get their kicks when they square off against Ireland in the U.S. Cup 96. All next Sunday here on ABC Sports. Well, Jimmy Vasser has Scott Pruitt just ahead of him. Vasser is 9th, Pruitt is 8th. And there's the fight.
Don't forget, from Jimmy's point of view, look at this. Ribeiro going right under Jimmy Vasser, and Greg Moore in the blue and white car going under Jimmy Vasser.
Greg Moore still trying to maintain his position.
That's not for a place.
No, not for a place at all.
But don't forget, for Jimmy, this is critical because he's in that points lead. He doesn't want to, he doesn't want to drop out of 8th or 9th spot. He wants to pick up a few points. They give points down to 12th place, and he wants to keep accumulating points as much as he can to pad that lead, especially with Al Jr. leading the race right now.
And Greg Moore is hanging on to the tail end of the lead lap. One car out of the race. Gary Gerald.
Stefan Johansson, who's had a tough weekend. You had the practice crash yesterday. What happened with the backup car, Stefan?
Well, the car ran pretty good, actually. It was actually slightly quicker than the race car yesterday when we ran it, and it ran good this morning. It started to go loose at the end of the stint in the first round, and then the throttle linkage broke right off. So we lost, I don't know, 15 laps to change it. came back out and the car was just real loose, and instead of being in the way of everybody, we didn't have any realistic chance of even being in the top 20. So we figured it's better to park it and have another go next weekend.
Thank you.
Well, and you saw Roberto Moreno get into trouble there.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a handling problem. He probably got it loose up there, slowed down, backed off.
I think he's still thinking about it.
He's still thinking about it, but he's probably trying to stay out a little bit so he can get in his fuel window. That's coming up pretty soon. If he can hang on for a couple of more laps, then they don't have to maybe stop twice more before the end of the race.
Yeah, 125 laps complete. Jack and Gary reported that the fuel window would open at about 130 laps. So if he can limp around and stay out there, maybe it helps him. Al Unser Jr. started in 11th place when he won here in 1994. He leads it now, and he started in 11th today. Bobby Rahal runs in 7th, and he has been consistently in 7th for some time now.
Bobby always goes well around this track. He's done very well here. He's always consistent.
Last win came on a mile. Nazareth back in 91. 92. Russ Thompson, our historian, just corrects me. Memory's faulty. Bobby Rahal, I'll tell you what. This team with Brian Herta, he is, of course, an owner partnered with Dave Letterman. They're still getting their feet under them to some degree. Well, you've got two superb drivers there.
Two great drivers, but you've got a guy, Bobby Rahal, who's wearing a lot of hats, especially with Hogan moving over to join forces with Penske, because he's the team owner, he's the driver, he's looking after the budget, and he's also one of the members of IndyCar on the board. So he's wearing a lot of hats, and he's a father of 3.
I wonder if they would ever consider putting Letterman on the headset here. Boy, what a trip that would be. On board Parker Johnstone. And once again, the package, and that is the Reynard, the Honda, and the Firestone tires. Well, they're struggling today. He started 19th. He's in 18th. Back at the front of the field, Al Unser Jr., Michael Andretti beginning to close in. Boy, look at now the interval. Look at Michael. He's right there.
Oh, boy. And Michael, when he's got him in his sights like that, Al's at the left of your screen there in the red and white car. Michael's at the back in the black car. They're working traffic. And this is what Milwaukee always comes down to. Who can work the traffic the best?
And they're thinking about pit stops. Michael could be pitting a mere 10 laps from now. Jackaroo?
And here's maybe the first tactic coming from Newman Haas Racing. Tim Pumps came over, talked to his crew, explained to them that they don't feel they will need a full load of 40 gallons of methanol. So they're going to go in, take on tires, take on what they think is enough by a time stop, and hopefully gain some advantage over Al Unser Jr.
Well, that's not so much of a risk. I mean, they know how to do that. You know what your flow is. What you have to hope is that you've figured it exactly right.
That's right, but don't forget you've got one of the best down there, Roger Penske. He's probably figuring something along the same line. He's not going to waste time putting on fuel that he doesn't need.
Well, Michael Andretti should be rolling down to his stop in a while. And we've got a car in trouble. It's Raul Boesel. The yellow comes out.
Doesn't look too bad. He's lost his rear wing there.
And his right rear.
And boy, this will, I think now we'll see that strategy change. Now what we're going to also see is the first time on a 1 mile oval is their new rules with the 2 cars, lap cars. See, the pits are closed.
That's
that
right.
P sign was the pits were closed.
So the pits are closed right now. Boesel got into trouble coming onto the backstretch, Jack.
Here's the problem. Raul Boesel has had the problem since the drop of the green flag, guys, complaining with a terribly loose race car. Now, what does loose mean? It means that the back end of the car wants to flip out in the middle of the corners, and that is, as you said, Danny Sullivan, very difficult. They made an early stop, tried to adjust it. Just a couple of laps ago, they came back in again. And the reason? Because the car was still big-time loose. According to Barry Green, Raul just was having his hands full out there.
Raul was running 7th place, and here's his onboard. Was running at 17th.
See, he's gone up there high. Oh. He's gone up there high trying to get there, and I think he just lost the car.
Exactly what Jack suggested. If he'd been fighting that loose condition, that is the extreme of loose.
That's the extreme. But don't forget what happened is he moved up there. He tried to get around the slower car, and as you get up there, that groove, that lane is not quite as good as some of the others.
You see, the pits are still closed. The pace car is gathering up the field, and as soon as the field is in the back of the pace car, then they will open the pits.
I think we'll probably see it open this time. See, they've got Al Jr. there.
Not all that dissimilar from NASCAR. If you're familiar with that, the one difference that you're really going to see here today is when the drivers discussed this, they thought that the cars on the lead lap ought to line up on the inside or to driver's left. Now the pits have opened up.
But that's open for the cars on the lead lap.
Exactly.
When they hold a minus sign up there, then that'll be for the cars that are more than a lap down.
And the lead lap should really only be 5 cars: Unser Jr., Michael, Emerson, Paul Tracy, and Greg Moore.
And we've actually gone 130 laps under green.
136th lap of the race. And we should see this entire front order come off and down into the pits unless there is some strategy that we can't fathom or predict. Gary Gerald.
Here's Al Unser Jr. Remember, he's in the very first pit box, so he gets the first service. But then he's got to go the length of the road at 60 miles an hour. They're making absolutely no changes. They're staying with the primary tire compound on Goodyear. Michael's in. Jack, you're up there.
And just 5 seconds ago, Michael Andretti made his way to finish his stop. They're taking out more fuel than they had hoped for. A full tank is what they've taken. They disconnected these away. How about Al Jr.?
Al Jr. was not a fast stop. We had it at 18.5 seconds as they had to get all the fuel in. Paul Tracy has just left in the adjacent pit.
And that was a great stop for Michael Andretti. Although he was further down pit road, they completed their work faster. Michael Andretti beats Al Jr. out of the pits, gentlemen.
Yeah, it gave him the lead of the race, Danny.
It did, and I think what happened is it looked like the fuel was a problem going into Al Jr.'s car.
This is Raul as he got into the wall, causing this yellow first contact. Boy, look at all that.
Big flame there.
Engine oil from the gearbox, maybe?
Looks like, and some magnesium, everything back there. Just, you know, you make an impact into those concrete walls. They don't give at all.
And a hesitant moment for Eliseo Salazar as Raul Boisel is out of the car and taking a look at that track surface. As the rest of the field moves around, look at all the marbles up there in the groove. We'll be right back.
We'd like to take a few seconds to show you something you don't see very often. Mechanics working on a Honda.
I get here early to stock up on Texaco Haviland Formula 3 motor oil because it gives my engine complete protection.
Me too.
Michael Andretti.
Texaco Haviland Formula 3 is formulated to control volatility and fight vaporization. And it's the same oil used by championship racing teams.
Empty.
Tough track, huh?
Take it to the star.
Firehawk, born at Indy, driven everywhere.
Oh, Bill, did I tell you what Patty said that Rachel heard about what Mark said about Patty? Well, Bill, are you listening? Anyway, Patty ran into Rachel, who had run into Mark at a party. So, according to Bill, are you listening to me or to the game?